Now that we have our rules, we want to be able to apply our rules. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken the rules. That way I have them all for each one of these 30, 60, 90 questions. So we'll dive right in. This one on the top left, 30 degrees is going to be our smallest angle, which makes 2 our short leg. Okay, so if 2 is our short leg, then I'm going to use my short leg rule. I'm going to multiply it by root 3 to get the long leg. So the long leg would be v in this case. And so I'm going to multiply 2 times root 3 to get v. And then to get u, I'm going to multiply it by 2. So I take my 2 and I'm going to multiply it by 2, which gives me 4. So 4 equals u. And v just equals 2 root 3. If I wanted to evaluate 2 second x squared gives me that square root 3, and that could also be 3.464. That would also be acceptable. Okay, down here, 8 root 5. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit gnarlier, but if I look at 8 root 5, this is our hypotenuse. So when we are given our hypotenuse, we divide by 2 to get the short leg. So I take 8 root 5. My long leg is going to be across from 60, which makes y my short leg. So to get y, I'm going to take 8 root 5 and divide it by 2. So all I need to do here is divide 8 by 2. Y equals 4 root 5. That's all I need to do right there. If I wanted to evaluate 4 root 5, that's going to also equal 8.944. Either of those would be acceptable for y. And then for x, I'm going to take my y value, which is 8, no, excuse me, that's my hypotenuse. Take my y value, my short leg, 4, excuse me, that is not liking what's going on here. Let's take a look now. 4 root 5, and to find my new long leg, I need to multiply my short leg by root 3. Well, my short leg was 4 root 5. I multiplied that by root 3. And all I do in a situation like this is whatever is underneath my square roots, I can multiply together. I cannot pull anything out because 5 and 3 are both prime numbers. So all I have underneath my square root is numbers that can't be pulled out. I can't make any pairs. So x is going to simply equal 4 root 5 times 3 is 15. So that would be acceptable, as well as 4 root 15, which is 15.492. Okay, that would also be acceptable. Looking at this top one, okay, this one's a little bit nicer to play with. 16 is across from my 90-degree angle, which makes this my hypotenuse, which means I need to divide it by 2 to get my short leg. So I'm going to identify where my short leg and long leg is. Across from 60 is always going to be my long leg, which makes across from 30 my short leg. So to get y, I'm simply going to take 16 and divide it by 2, which equals 8. And then to get my long leg, I take my short leg, which is 8, and I multiply it by root 3, which makes this an acceptable answer. However, I can multiply times root 3 to get 13.856. And that would cover my long leg. Okay? Nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. Okay? Here's a different one. On this one, we have our long leg as 5 root 3. We're given our long leg. We'll go on ahead and label everything. This is going to be my short leg. This is going to be my hypotenuse. If I'm given the long leg, I need to divide it by root 3 or multiply it by root 3 over 3 to get my short leg. So in this case, because I have a root 3, I want to take my long leg and divide by root 3 because all I'm going to do there is cancel those out, which makes y equal to 5. That's nice and easy. And if y equals 5, then to find my hypotenuse, now that I have my long leg, or my short leg, excuse me, all I do is take my short leg and multiply by 2. So x equals 10. Nothing too crazy there. This one is an interesting one. Let's take a look. Okay. Universal Sporting Goods sells pennants in the shape of two 30, 60, 90 triangles. So essentially what we're doing is we're taking this, two 30, 60, 90 triangles, which makes 90 degrees, 60, 60, and then we've got our 30 over here. Okay. So that is going to cover, that's going to make the shape. Okay. The length of the sides of each pennant is 16 inches. So each one of these is going to be 16 inches. Determine the area of the pennant. So in order to do that, I've got to find my base and my height, which are my short leg and my long leg. So when I do that, I'm given my hypotenuse. And when I have my hypotenuse, I use my rule. It says divide by 2 to get my short leg. My short leg will be over here. 8 or 16 divided by 2 is going to be 8 and 8. Okay. And then to find my long leg, I'm going to take 8 and multiply it by root 3, and that's going to cover my long leg for both of these. 8 root 3 can also be seen as 13 point, did I already find that? Okay, sure did. I also skipped a question. We'll go back to that. 13.856 is also acceptable. Okay, but I don't care about the short leg and long leg except for the fact that I'm looking for the area. So in order to find the area, okay, I can take my area formula, which is 1/2 base times height. Well, I'm going to just do this big triangle and say that this whole side is 16. So area equals 1/2 my base, which is 16, times my height, which is 8 root 3, or 13.856 with that big long decimal. Okay, so half of 16 is 8. So I have 8 times 8 root 3. 8 times 8 is 64 root 3. Also, acceptable answer would be 64 root 3, which would give me 110.851. That would also be an acceptable answer. Okay, let's go on ahead and take a look at this one that we skipped earlier. Excuse me. Okay. We're finding the short leg and the long legs. So in this scenario, we are given the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is in fact 20. If this is 60, that makes this 30, which makes this a short leg and this the long leg. Just helping us out. Okay, our short leg is going to be 20 divided by 2, which equals 10. So that equals my short leg. My long leg is going to be 10 root 3, which is also, so I'll go ahead and write that down here, 17.321. Okay, either one of those would be acceptable. I'll go on ahead and make this a little bit neater. My short leg equals 10 centimeters. My long leg equals 10 root 3 centimeters, or it equals 17.321 centimeters. Either one of those would be acceptable in this case. And that covers all of our examples in this case for our 30, 60, 90 triangles.